So I did my favorite thing yesterday, got loose at an auction and bought a John Deere 400. I don't even know the model year of it. Basically, it was cheap enough for me to buy and do something with. So what are my plans with this 400? Probably some of you will not like the answer to that, but I'm going to part it out. And I have a reason why I'm going to part it out, much like the 720 that I did this summer for me to learn. If you follow my videos, you know that I have another John Deere 400 that I use to mow with. That's in pretty good condition. There's nothing wrong with it. In fact, I really enjoy mowing with it. It's not very fast, but it's got the newer style deck on it compared to this one that has only one. It's missing an anti-scalp wheel right there. The deck does run. I mean, everything's just fine. But this is going to offer me an opportunity to basically learn a little bit more about the 400. So if I ever have to do any repairs, plus this one's got probably some better tires on it than my 400 that I currently have. And so I'm going to steal the tires off of this and put them on the 400 that I currently, that I'm going to keep. So it's not necessarily just because I have an objective to doing it. But I think the first thing that we're going to do is we need to walk around it. Just kind of talk about what I saw when I went to the auction and why I was interested in purchasing it. Now, keep in mind that the weather's become cold, and basically right now I want to say it's 19 degrees outside, and it doesn't show any signs of getting above freezing in the near future. Went to this auction. It was snowing, lightly snowing, not like a blizzard or anything, just lightly snowing. And it was not started up, and I think that definitely impacted the value. The auctioneer said it ran, but you know, it's one of those deals. It's like, well, if you say it runs, but you don't actually start it up, that's kind of a red flag. And that's, I think, one of the reasons that I bought it so cheap. Because when I saw it yesterday morning before I bought it, I was like, hey, this would be a good candidate for me to learn on. All right, so what do we see that we don't like about this machine as I was walking around it? One, the seat, that's no good. We're missing a plastic piece. Then there's all kinds of exposed wires there, which I'm not quite sure what to think about, but we're just going to let that be there. We've got, it had a sprayer on it, and the sprayer sold separately from the machine, so I unhooked the sprayer when I went to go load it up. So it's got some hacked on wiring there. It does have good tires, as I've already kind of mentioned. The deck looks a little old. Got some cracks in the cover right there. We're missing a bolt in the side shield. Grill looks pretty good. Outlets have not been covered, so the outlets probably are not any good. Doesn't look like there's been a lot of oil or anything coming out the exhaust. It's not very discolored. Looking at the deck down here, there doesn't appear to be any active leaks in the steering system. No active leaks on top of the deck. If you look down through there, I didn't see any. Tires are set to the wide position. No 3-point, no rear PTO. Not that I expected that, but you know, something you might like to see. So we've got a decent battery and a dirty engine. Now, I'll put it this way. It was cheap enough that I didn't even check the oil. So I haven't even done that much. Like I fully expected not even to buy it. And then, because I was expecting it to go well north of $1,000. And I paid under $1,000 for it. So that was actually pretty exciting. But you know, looking around through here, I don't see anything that's too much of a cause for concern. You saw it drive in here. So I would say for what I paid for it, I got a pretty decent deal. Let me know what you think, what you see walking around it. Did you spy anything that I didn't? I mean, I can see two things just standing here just from a different perspective that I might be concerned about. But I'll let you figure those things out. One of them is right there. So I think what I'm going to do, the first thing I want to do is I want to get the deck off. That makes it easier to store. I'm going to go ahead and turn the wheels around. So just got to jack it up. Flip the tires around, take the deck off, and then I'll probably put the tractor itself back into storage for the immediate future. And I'll work on this deck first because I already have a good deck. I've already rebuilt the deck for my other 400, so I know I can sell all the deck parts without even really thinking about it. I don't have to sit down and think about, okay, what I want to keep, what do I not want to keep. I know the deck parts can go away. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is take the deck apart, and then we will go from there. So let me get set up, take the deck off. All right, well, let's see here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to see if the deck drive shaft comes off, because a lot of times these drive shafts do not come off easily or without much of a fight. So we're going to see if this one fights us. Which already feels, I can't even get the... Yep, it's going to fight us. %, all the way. All right, so after about 15 minutes of repeated, and basically what I do to get those drive shafts off is I just use brake clean and WD-40, and basically what I was forced to do in this case is spray it with spray it with brake clean, get as much crap out of it as you can, and then coat it with WD-40 and basically just sit there and work the ring back and forth. Because a lot of times what happens is those rings will get all kinds of crap and dust and debris and grass and everything in there, and they'll just get so packed in there that you can't move the ring to allow the what I would call detent balls, whatever, from catching on the drive shaft itself. And so basically there's enough crap in there you can't move the ring, so the drive shaft, the balls there that hold the drive shaft on, they can't they won't come out because the ring's still engaged. So now I've pushed it back as far as I can. I've got to drop the deck at this point because basically the way I've got the deck and all of the crap that's on the drive shaft itself really needs to, if I drop the deck, then I can push it back a little bit and that drive shaft should come right off. But that's just one reason that really, if I know some people really hate taking decks off machines, but just taking that 15-20 minutes once a year to take your deck on and off, I mean, even if it's, just loosen the drive shaft and put it back on, I don't care what model it is, any shaft driven deck, 400 up through the X series of today, take that drive shaft off, grease it, clean it, take the 15 minutes to do that every year, and you won't end up spending, I have a lot of experience doing this, and it still took me 15 minutes of cleaning, and you can get really frustrated really fast in this type of situation. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop all the connections for the deck. I don't think you need to watch me do that, and we'll get this deck rolled out from underneath here. There we go. All right, so that was about 10 minutes to get the deck unhooked. Really, the only thing that threw me for a loop over here, which I don't have this trouble with my other one, is the steering valve blocks the pin that holds the draft arm on right there. I haven't had that problem on my other 400, so I don't know. And basically, I just had to move the position of the wheels so that valve slides in and out just a little bit, because basically it was hitting that fitting right there underneath the valve. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what was happening there. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the tractor itself. I was looking at it, I don't gain that much room by flipping the tires around, so I don't think I'm gonna do that right now. Plus it's getting late, and so I think I'm gonna take this back out to the shed to store it, and we'll start working on the deck in the next video. So hopefully I can get back to more regular videos than I have been in the last probably 6 months or so. Frankly, I've had a lot on my plate, and I'm not going to make videos just for the purpose of making videos. I don't think you want to watch those, and I don't want to make them. So I really haven't felt the need to make a lot of videos in the last 6 months or so. But I think now that winter's here and I don't have as much to do outside, I've got lots of projects to do inside. I mean, if you can't tell, the shop's still an absolute mess. But hopefully this winter we can rectify that situation. So thanks for watching.